What's happening, fellow Cobras? Welcome back to the Strike First podcast. If this is your first time with us and you love CobraKai and KarateKid, consider joining the dojo today by following my Instagram at Strike First Podcast and hitting the red subscribe button below. Today, we'll be discussing my top 7 lessons that everyone can learn from CobraKai. So metaphors are something that is heavily involved with the CobraKai series, and specifically the Miyagi-Do dojo. And Daniel loves to mirror Mr. Miyagi's way of teaching students karate by using lessons that were taught to him as a teenager to the current teenagers in his class today. This metaphor of the bonsai trees originates from Mr. Miyagi in the original KarateKid, and then is mentioned in Season 1 by Daniel to Robbie. The lesson teaches us to compare our lives to the art of trimming bonsai trees. You clear your mind of everything except the tree, and you visualize what you want that tree to look like, and you make it happen. It ties into our individual lives by us being pictured as the tree. And like when trimming a bonsai, you visualize what you want your future to look like, and then you make it happen. And when you have strong roots, it will make it easier for yourself to grow into the person you want to be. The wisdom of Mr. Miyagi is endless, and the lesson of teaching the growth of a person is something we can all use in our everyday lives to strive to be better and to be the person we want to be for the rest of our lives. Throughout the series, we've learned that showing no mercy will make you strong, it'll make you formidable, but it'll also make you an asshole. But I believe that the one who shows mercy to their opponent opposed to no mercy is the one who's stronger, because they had the guts to spare their opponent. They show that they are the bigger man and to rise above whatever conflict that started the fight. And although the one that shows mercy may not always have it work out for them in the end, like with Miguel in Season 2, but it still does not take away from the fact that we don't do the right thing because it all works out. We do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, as the great Bobby Brown said in Season 3 to Johnny. Being a merciless person will not get you respect. It's the person who's able to swallow their pride to do what's right who earns honor. Now this one kind of goes without saying, but life is filled with numerous opportunities and challenges that we face as people each and every day. And CobraKai is the perfect example for those who experience hardships in nearly every episode. In Season 3, Sam is dealing with the fear of Tori from her past fights with her throughout the whole duration of the season, and Daniel explains to her that we all carry around fears in our lives to some degree, but we gotta make sure to never let that fear win, and that she's the only one who can get up when she's down, no one else. I personally have seen this work wonders in my own life, that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how many times I get knocked down, I always choose to get back up. And you can even compare this to how Tori was feeling in some rough patches she was having when she told Kreese that life was kicking her ass right now. And Kreese responded with, "You can always kick back." Life is anything but easy, but sometimes we have to fight back and not let that fear win. Going back to the KarateKid and Mr. Miyagi once again, and when Daniel relays this lesson to Robbie in Season 1, just like when Mr. Miyagi gives Daniel the 47 Ford Super Deluxe, and explains the lesson about having good balance will make your karate good, but it also applies to your whole life and not just karate alone. This lesson encourages us that when we experience the struggles of everyday life, we should search inside for the good stuff in our lives, and then it'll balance out with the struggles we are facing and then make everything better. Having a good physical and mental balance in our lives helps keep us level-headed and gives us the opportunities we need to grow as people. This definitely helped out Robbie for a short period of time and was even on the right path. But I think we can all benefit from these lessons from the great Mr. Miyagi, aka Pat Morita, as they have a great meaning behind them, and they have worked already for so many people in real life. This next lesson comes from none other than Allie Mills, when she explains to Johnny, who lives in the past quite often, that yes, it is a good thing to revisit the past here and there, to reflect on the good things and all the memories you've made. But you can't live in the past. The past has already been written, and you can't control what has already happened. The only thing you can control is what is to come in your future. I'm really glad this was said to Johnny, as it opened his eyes to a lot of things he still wants to do in his life. I'm glad he came to the realization that he wants to be with Carmen. The way that this is applied to my own life is that this lesson really hit home for me because I often reminisce of what life was like as a kid. While it is nice to do from time to time, I sometimes forget that I'm only 23 years old and I have my whole life ahead of me, and I should focus more on that because there are still plenty of things for me to yet to experience in my life. We need to live for today and be in the moment so we can all have the future that we want to have. As the great Sensei Lawrence said in Season 1 to Hawk, you need to flip the script. This lesson is great in my opinion because it explains that if you aren't happy with your life or who you are as a person, then you should flip the script. Not necessarily completely change who you are, but become the person you want to be in the end. The only one who can make that decision to make a change is you, no one else. And with Hawk, he didn't like being a nerd, so he decided a whole different approach and became who he wanted to be. I don't think he necessarily wanted to be a bully per se, but I think he wanted to have more friends and fit in with the CobraKai dojo to command respect from his peers and his sensei, which seemed to work out in the end. Now this lesson easily takes number 1 on my list. We saw how much Johnny's life was screwed up in season 1. Living in poverty, he was single, an alcoholic, no relationship with his teenage son. The list goes on. Now those are a lot of mistakes one can make, but when Carmen tells him not to let those past mistakes determine his future, it really hits home and he strives to make drastic improvements in his life. And he is now a much better person because of it. And don't get me wrong, Johnny Lawrence still makes almost more mistakes than anyone in this entire series, but it's what he's deciding to do now that's important. This lesson stood out to me because as humans, we all make mistakes, each and every day. Some far worse than others, but what's important is to not let those mistakes of our past determine what's next for us. Fix them, move on. Unfortunately, we can't avoid all the mistakes we make completely. It's what we decide to do next that counts, and it's taught me the importance of forgiveness of others and forgiveness of myself. With that being said, guys, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to let me know down low in the comments section your favorite lesson you've learned from the CobraKai series. If you liked what you saw here today, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on CobraKai and KarateKid content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.